Merry Christmas. It is Christmas Eve as you're watching this Facebook video. I am not on live, but I will be checking messages, answering any questions you might have. And I decided that for today's video, we are going to make a card that features the reason for the season. And we are going to make a card featuring the nativity and using the sentiments from For Unto Us. So let's get started. I have already cut out the die cuts that we need using Whisper White paper and the Nature's Roots dies and the nativity dies, and I created a hill using the curvy dies. So let's get started putting this all together. Have a piece of Blackberry Bliss cardstock cut hot dog style, which is 5.5 by 11, 5.5 by 8.5. Folded in half, it makes a 5.5 by 4.25 card. Set this aside. We have a piece of Whisper White cut at 4 by 5.25 inches. That will be the inside of our card. We'll stamp on it here in a minute. And then we also have a piece of the Snowflake Splendor Designer Series paper that is also cut at 4 by 5.25 to create the night sky. And then I already cut all the dies out with the Whisper White, which includes trees and the Holy Family and the stable and a hill. Now I'm going to go ahead and stamp everything we have to stamp for this using the Blackberry Bliss ink. And I'm going to stamp a sentiment on the hill. And it's For Unto Us a Child is Born. That is what we're celebrating today on Christmas Eve. All right, and I'll put that aside until we're ready to put this whole thing together. And then on the inside of the card, we are going to stamp, "Oh, come let us adore him." I see a little bit of ink around the edges of this that I should try to clean up a bit before we stamp it. Try to have more of a clean image. Never thought I would be buying baby wipes when my children were all high school or above, but here we are. Does a great job of cleaning off just the ink that you want to clean off. And go ahead and clean off a bit of the block, and then we'll get busy. There we have the inside of the card. Close up my ink pad. get out my glue, and then we are going to put it all together. We go ahead and glue the inside into the interior of the card. Now we'll start on the outside. It's easier for me to actually build this whole thing on the card front. So I'm going to glue down the Designer Series paper first. And then we'll start working from there. Okay, the hillside will be next. And then be putting the stable and the Holy Family and the trees. I generally like to create these scenes using black cardstock, but I'm kind of liking it with the white. It gives a different feel to the whole image. Let me see how I want these trees. Not sure. Yep, I will glue down the double trees, and then we'll see if I'm adding the single tree. There we have the two trees, and I am going to try to slide this back behind there. I definitely should have done that a little bit first, but I didn't. So we will just get it back there, and then we'll have the three trees. If you haven't read the story of the three trees, you really should. It's one of my very favorite Christmas time stories. It talks about what each of the trees did during the birth of the Savior to give back. All right, and there we have our perfect card for Christmas Eve. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas Eve. I hope you find a way to celebrate the fact that a child has been born for us thousands of years ago. And I will see you back here next week. Bye.